right now on News Channel 8 Today.
Welcome back on this Sunday morning. I'm Paul Mueller. News Channel 8, of course, is your local election headquarters. And this morning, questions about a referendum on changes to the Vinoy Hotel that will be on the ballot for St. Pete voters come November. And those changes, well, they could affect other parts of the downtown waterfront area. Live in the studio this morning for our Sunday Spotlight, Kyle Parks, spokesperson for the Vinoy Ownership Group. Kyle, glad to have you here today.
Thanks for having us, Paul.
Sure. You know, you want to build this garage over tennis courts that are there now. The price tag, $50 million. No taxpayer money, I understand, is going to change hands. How is that going to happen? How are we going to make it all happen?
Well, basically, the land behind the Vinoy was originally a city park, and there was a land swap back in the 80s. And as part of that land swap, the Vinoy got the land, but anytime there's construction back there, there has to be a referendum. So this is the third referendum that's happened on this property in the last 30 years. The other two passed. We expect this one to pass overwhelmingly. It's a one-story parking garage. We're raising tennis courts one story. It doesn't affect the footprint of the Vinoy. And the biggest thing of all, the Vinoy is paying for all the costs. This is not going to cost taxpayers anything.
And the other thing, too, is that, you know, a lot of people were asking, why is it, and I think you just said the answer, why is it that it is on the referendum? Because in a case traditionally like this, the city would handle it. But with you, like you said, it's the actual location itself.
Exactly. The location has deed restrictions, which means it has to go to referendum. That said, we've been very careful as the owners of the Vinoy to make sure the neighbors are happy with the way the project's being designed. It's one story. It's not going to affect the footprint. And also, you wouldn't want a big tower behind the Vinoy or some big, huge parking garage. So we think that'll work well.
Now, you said you expect it to pass. Why are you so confident?
We've had really good support, unanimous support from the St. Pete City Council, the mayor, Mr. Baker, the mayor candidate. Also, we've reached out to more than 60 neighborhood associations. Also have great support from the St. Pete Chamber of Commerce and the Downtown Partnership.
All right. You know, for those of us who have been or live in downtown St. Pete, we know parking can be at a premium, very congested there. You say the project will ease congestion, but how will that happen if these spaces will be used, assumably by Vinoy visitors?
Well, the parking is open to the public, as it is now, and also the parking is available for Vinoy's employees, and that's really important. So you don't want to have the employees, as is happening now when there's big events at the Vinoy, sometimes parking in the surrounding neighborhoods. So, for instance, the old Northeast neighborhood was very excited to hear about this because now the Vinoy will be able to handle parking for employees, visitors, everybody goes to the restaurants without negatively impacting the surrounding neighborhoods.
Business owners along Beach Drive, some of them may be skeptical about all of this. You answer them by saying what?
I think, number one, it's that, again, there is no public money involved. Number two, this actually helps Beach Drive because the Vinoy can handle its own parking issues without bleeding into the surrounding neighborhoods.
Okay, so again, the project, $50 million, right? Is that how much?
Well, $50 million is the cost of the entire project. The Vinoy includes restaurants, a new fitness center, and also the parking garage as part of that.
And the referendum is November 7th,
November
I believe.
7th, but mail ballots are already hitting, and as you probably know, most voters in Pinellas County vote by mail, so it's important for us, and has been, for us to get the word out, because honestly, Paul, as people hear about this referendum, they're saying this is a no-brainer. And
again, the biggest issue here is for many people is parking at a premium and congestion in that area. And you say definitively that this will indeed help.
This will definitely help. 270 some parking spaces. That's significant.
All right. Kyle Parks from the Vinoy Resort. We appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, thank you. Coming up, the race continues to heat up for